Hey everybody, it's Hootey. I'm here with some blindfolded super punch out. First things first, I'm just gonna get the stuff out of the way real quick. Big thank you to everyone for supporting and also managing RETROTHON. Really amazing marathon, and it's a real honor to be a part of it. So yeah, my name is Hootey, and I'm going to be doing blindfolded super punch out. In just a moment, I'm going to put my blindfold on, and I've already got my RGL TV name on there, and I think we're ready to roll. So my commentary might be a little scattered, but I'm going to do my very best while I'm blindfolded to give you the best that I can. So let's put this on. Get my headphones on. Just for clarity's sake, my monitor is over to this side. Can't see it. I'm gonna have my head down, and I got my headphones on. And let's go. All right. And find my keyboard. 1, 2, and let's get going. First fight's Gabby J. We're going to dispatch him pretty quickly. You're going to see me doing a lot of dodges and ducks during this. This is to help buffer the punches so that I'm hitting at just the right time. Fight! We're going to pause right there. That little pause was to make certain that the super meter filled up all the way to the top so that we could get that super punch in nice and early. You need that to be able to dizzy Gabby a little sooner. And just like that, he goes down. Minor circuit's going to be pretty tame for the most part. There's not a lot going on, and we managed to mitigate pretty much all of the RNG just by having certain setups. Bear Hugger, for whatever reason, has kind of the more complicated setup. You're going to see me doing some dodges to catch his strides just as he's finishing, and we'll see how it goes. You know, when you beat the game, Bear Hugger will tell you that you can beat him in about 17 seconds or something like that, or that someone can. And we're either just a little over, a little under right there. It's a little different from the normal single segment run because you want to get Bear Hugger dizzy in order to keep the in-game timer as low as possible. But for this, we want to just maximize the damage and get him all the way to the end so he goes down in one phase. Piston Hurricane. What can we really say about Piston Hurricane other than I really need to make sure I count to 8? We counted to 8 successfully. Which is great because phase 2 is a wonderful in that you only really need to count to 1, so we count to 1. You just hold A. He's by far the easiest fight in either single segment or blindfolded. And there's really not much more to say about him. Now, don't blink, we're going to move on to Bald Bull. Bald Bull has some interesting punches, and we're going to do our best to just to mitigate his ability to counter us. So, first phase, we're going to put his guard up to make certain that we can hit him. We're going to put him into the dizzy phase so that we can prep for phase 2. Now, phase 2 I kind of reworked a little bit. It's a little different than single segment or even what we did during last summer during the race with Zellard 1 and I. And that is we're just going to kind of Oh. We're gonna do that, which was a back. It was supposed to be a tiny dodge into that. In any case, phase 3 is gonna come with our bull charges, and we don't know which one he's gonna throw, but thankfully we can just do that. A simple buffered of right jab into duck into 2 left body blows will catch either the long or the short bull charge and give us our first belt. Good job, me. In any case, shout outs to Zallard1, one of my dear friends in the speedrunning community, and also the person who got me into speedrunning after, you know, seeing his own blindfolded attempt in 2014. Shout outs to you, man. Love you. Here comes Bob Charlie. We want Bob to take these first 2 punches. We're hoping that he does. And the reason for that is because it sets up all those other punches, and that will just give us a very quick knockdown for phase 1. Now, phase 2, I need to time an uppercut here just at the right time, and I've been trying to figure out good ways to... Hey, what do you know? I heard him dance off to the side a little bit, and that was part of the problem I was finding in practice. Sometimes Bob will simply stand still and let you hit him. Sometimes he wants to wander around the ring, as he's prone to do. The double duck there kind of gives a little bit of leeway in order to make certain that uppercut hits. We're moving through at a pretty quick clip. We're going to move on to Dragon Chan. Dragon Chan kind of just lets you punch him in the face a lot for whatever reason in the beginning, and you're going to see this. It's kind of strange. Not sure why he does this.
Fight!
In any case, he's got one of the better Dizzy animations where he just does this big arc around the ring. It's really cool to watch. Okay, so now we're going to see whether or not he gives us kicks or energy. We really want energy, but we didn't get the good energy, so we're just going to kind of super him until he falls down. Not a big deal. Kicks would have meant that we probably would have had to move to phase 3. But thankfully, because we still got an energy that we were able to hit him, you know, with several super attacks, we're able to knock him out in phase 2. Masked Muscle is actually one of the scariest fights in Blindfolded because if he spits in your face, everything goes wrong, and it's very, very difficult to recover. Thankfully, we have a little bit of a technique in the beginning. And that's your problem right there. You don't want to get spit on. Unfortunately, we did. This is going to be one of the hardest comebacks, honestly, because right now we're not quite certain where we're at in terms of our super meter, and we need to get back there. Unfortunately, that headbutt's going to set us back, as well as that spit. So, unfortunately, what I wanted to do in phase 1 is a triple duck buffer, which you see in several setups for the boxers, but right now it's more like we're in damage control mode, trying our best to just come back. Now, unfortunately, this setup means that we might have to move to our backup file. Because if we end up losing to any boxer before World Circuit ends, we won't be able to access Special Circuit. And that's a problem, obviously, because we want to beat the rest of the game. So I am sorry, it looks like we're probably going to end up taking a loss to Masked Muscle here. He just really is a monster when you can't see him. And part of the issue right there is that that spit that you see, it's slightly delayed in that if you're trying to dodge off to the side, he ends up catching you anyway unless you delay that dodge, which is extremely hard to do when you can't see. Hey, we got the adios. So this will unfortunately mean that we're going to have to move to the backup file if we can get all the way through Macho here. But let's see if we can nail that counter this time around.
Fight!
It What do you know? It's that simple once the triple duck is actually performed, but you miss that buffer and everything goes downhill.
Fight!
And that's a very simple buffer right there for phase 2, where we can catch either the spit that he potentially will throw, or just his the punch that he wants to throw. So this is a really good way to see how quickly a fight can go very, very south, just from one missed input. So, Sandman. Sandman is known for being one of the most mechanical fights in the game. He has no RNG. We just need to make sure that we execute correctly, and we're going to try and do that right now.
Fight!
We did it. Thank goodness. That 6th punch, that second body blow there is timed. You can't really buffer it in any way. And we do that and do an extended delay on the dizzy in order to make sure we get that super attack right there. Alright, now Salmon's going to get it for his 3rd phase. We want to counter him right here. He's going to go into Streamland Express. We're going to punch him and then hit him again. Then we're going to do one more super to knock him out. And just like that, we're halfway through. You know, it's hard when people mention their favorite Punch-Out game. I have such a difficult time because I really, really love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and also Wii Punch-Out. But this one just holds such a special place in my heart. It was definitely the one that I played the most growing up. And, well, it's a little bit of the weird kind of outcast from the series itself. I really appreciate even its weird idiosyncrasies, especially since it kind of emulates the arcade games a lot more. In any case, here's Aaron Ryan. We're gonna give him 8 punches, and he's just gonna wander around the ring and hope that I hit him. Poor guy. You're gonna see the triple duck buffer again here. Let's hopefully do it right the first time. So again, it's kind of a sticky tactic right there, the triple duck, because it ends up being like the ducks are much faster as you continue on. But it does catch every instance of Aaron Ryan trying to hug you. So
Pizza cake.
Heike Kagero. So there's a strategy that we use in the single segment where we do rapids on Heike Kagero in phases 2 and 3. We're not going to do that here because it's actually really difficult to execute. You forget how much you rely on your eyes when it comes to a lot of these cues that you use in Punch-Out and whatnot, in other games, of course. Alright, I got bailed out there, thankfully. I ended up missing a counter punch, and let's try and get the counter punch on the phase 3 here. It's right there, right after the fight. Heike always wants to attack you right there with a low punch. Thankfully, we were there for phase 3, and that we managed to sort of get our way through phase 2. Alright, Boxer with one of the most variances in Blindfolded happens to be Mad Clown. He's also one of the scariest. We're going to be punching him in the gut a lot to try and figure out where he is. Here we go. Okay. Not good. A little lost now, unfortunately. Oh, he grabbed my head. That does so much damage, and also you have to know which way he's gonna throw you because you have to dodge in a particular direction for him not to hit you. Uh-oh. So we can't see the balls here. The balls are random. We just kind of hope that we don't get hit a lot, and unfortunately we got hit all 3 times. This is a very tricky fight. Oop. He did his slide punch right there. Part of learning all of these blindfolded fights is it's very tough to decide at what point do you stop learning the boxer themselves. You have to find that cutoff point of going like, okay, if I can get all the way to here, I can memorize all these different variances. If I can get all the way to here, and there eventually at some point needs to be a cutoff. And unfortunately, you know, you suffer through it sometimes. All right, we're gonna try this again and see how we do.
Fight!
Okay, so we did a bit better that time. We managed to get him dizzy, and what we're going to attempt to do now is punch him in the belly again and hopefully do a setup. That's okay. And down he goes again. But once you actually manage to get a couple of the punches your way, everything just falls into place. All right. So we're almost all the way through World Circuit, and I will have to stop and get my other save file to make sure that we can continue onward. But before we do so, everybody's favorite, Macho Man. He's a jerk. He ends all of the runs. He is Super Macho Man. We're gonna do our best here. Honestly, we're just gonna do our best.
Fight!
So that little freak out right there was to make sure I had my super meter full, just like in the Gabby J fight. I just happened to press start a few extra times. So, let's see. We have an easier setup here for phase 2. And in phase 3, Macho's going to consider whether or not he wants to throw exercises. He normally does, because, you know, he's got a lot of muscles. He needs to keep up on his regimen. This is okay. We're going to dodge the spin punch and make sure he goes down for the TKO. So, not too bad. I do feel a little bad that we took some losses on Mass Muscle and Mad Clown, but that's okay. We do still have one more circuit. I know we'll have to move to the next save file to make sure that I am able to continue onward. So I'm going to pull this up just ever so slightly. Again, my monitor is just off to my left. Probably looks like my right on the camera. I just barely see it right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move to... That is not it. Backup. There we go. So here we are at Special Circuit. Let's finish off these last 4 fights. We're going to start with another crowd favorite, especially if you know Super Punch-Out. Narcissus Prince. He makes the best sounds when he gets hit. We're actually going to start the fight with our guard high. We want him to hit us because it helps us move into the angry phase. What are you going to give us, Narcissus? Kind of a weird pattern there. I wasn't expecting that, but we managed to get it back up okay. So, not too bad. Let's see if we can get the super punch off on him. Okay. Oh, this is a gamble. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're going to move on to phase 3. If he had taken that uppercut, it's possible he would have gone down in phase 2, but I should have done the other buffer to do rapids, but that's okay. We're going to block his 3 punches here. Punch, and we're going to get him mad. And that's okay. Narcissus goes down. Narcissus is a scary fight, no matter whether or not you're doing it blindfolded or otherwise. There are so many little tiny sound cues you have to hear. You have to, you know, determine whether or not you countered one of his punches within a few moments. And otherwise, things get really dicey. Speaking of dicey, Hoy Corlo. Why does this man have a stick? No one knows. But they let him in with one. Hey, something goes right for once. The old man gets the old knockdown.
1, 2.
If you played this casually, that probably felt really good to watch him go down that quickly. Let's see if we can do...
Fight.
Wow, what a nice guy. Hoy just watched me take 2 losses, and he just said, you know what? Go on through, buddy.
7, 8. Fight.
And down goes Hoy. His guard is really sticky. You can end up, you know, needing to... You're basically guessing, okay, you know, will he let me hit him high? Do I need to try for low? And that fight can get pretty hairy the further on you go. But thankfully, that went pretty well. Rick Bruiser, the first of the 2 Bruiser brothers. We're gonna do some fancy punching here.
Fight.
Block his punch there. And then we're gonna counter a couple here and then make sure he gets nice and dizzy. Rick's a bit of a pushover in comparison to his brother. We're going to do basically another setup where we're going to try and make sure that he gets stunned again. We throw that right jab right there right before the super because we want it to be... It gives you just enough of a refill to where it's possible you can knock him out right here in phase 3 immediately. Just like that. It's a 5/8 chance, but 62.5 specifically. And just like that, we're almost done. Nick Bruiser. So, the infamous Nick Bruiser counter is, I believe, something like I think it's like a 6 or 7 frame window. There is a buffer that we use for blindfolded, but it's absolutely a guess, so I'm just hoping he throws a particular punch. We'll see how we do.
Fight.
Very nice. That's what you want to see in phase 1. I have a little bit of a vendetta because of how that my race with Zellard 1 went. I want to see if I can get this counter on Nick. Let's go, Nick. Come on.
Fight.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's it. I'm happy. I don't care. I don't care if I take 2 losses. I am so happy I got that.
2, 3, 4.
That better be a knockout.
7, 8, 9.
There it is. I should probably stop the timer. Ding.
Pizza cake.
Hey, we did it.
Right on.
We did it in 20 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. Unfortunately, I cannot see chat, so I do not have it up right now. But I hope you all really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Obviously, a couple of missteps there, but the backup has the best time on it now. You know, I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it. But in any case, that's been Blindfolded Super Punch-Out. Thank you all so much. Big thanks to all the staff and everybody running RETROTHON 2020. It's been a fantastic marathon. Can't wait to see more. And yeah, big shout outs to the Punch-Out community as well. So if you ever feel like you want to learn how to run Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Super Punch-Out, any Punch-Out really, come join our Discord. You know, we love to give advice and whatnot. So that's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for the opportunity, everybody, and hope you have a great time.